Hey, thanks for tuning in to Whiskey Throttle Media. We met up today with Adrian from Ride Engineering to have a ride on a project that he built. This is his own personal bike, and he feels like he's kind of nailed some pretty cool things with these Hondas. He's making parts for every bike. But Adrian, I wanted you to talk us through what you did to this. We let our test riders spend some laps on it and get some thoughts. We'll talk to them, but take us through what you did to this thing.
All right, so as far as the chassis goes, we added our 23.5 offset split triple clamps to just add a little more stability. We run our one-piece bar mount. We've also done suspension work. ESR, Ron Schuler up in Hesperia has kind of got my suspension settings dialed in pretty good. We went from the Showa fork to a KYB fork. Just like the KYB, just feels like a little better on bump touch. And we put some trick coatings on it. As you can see, it makes the bike look kind of cool. What else did we do? We rerouted the clutch cable. We have a little kit that reroutes the clutch cable, gets it out of your face. We went with a KX450 clutch master cylinder, which just softens up that clutch and makes it like butter. We added one of our links to just kind of work with the shock a little bit and help tune in the suspension a little bit more. We also run Pro Taper 1452 gearing, and that matches really well with the stock Map 1 and the FMF slip-on. It's a little taller than the stock gearing, so it makes second gear more usable, yet the power is very smooth and very friendly, and I didn't think you needed to put a vortex or do any other engine work to this bike.
Yeah, most 450s have got plenty of horsepower. We're not really searching for that. A lot of it's just handling and feel and trying to make it comfortable for what you like. I noticed you also got a gripper seat cover. It gives you a little more traction here. The grips, kind of are they ODI grips?
They're ODIs. I just love the simplicity of bolting them on, no glue. So
yeah, absolutely.
I just love that.
Well, it looks great. You're also making a lot of little anodized parts, chain blocks and the brake clevis, engine plug kits, a lot of little parts that make it look nice, but actually do serve some function as well. The axle blocks are really nice. I heard you say to be able to see the hash marks and where you're at. You know, with the stock ones, it's kind of tough to see, especially when you get a little older. Those are a really nice touch, but just really good looking stuff. Brake caps and all this kind of things. If you're looking for that for your bike, check those out because they are really nice to make.
Thank you. Yeah, we make a cool little billet start switch that bolts right onto the throttle housing and all the little bolt-on accessories are made by Ride Engineering on this bike, as well as the braided steel brake lines. And something we didn't talk about is our brake caliper.
That's right.
We do make a billet brake caliper. It fits all the models, and it has a really strong but yet very progressive feel on the bike. And what we're going to start doing now is we're going to start offering it as a full kit with a brake line, a master cylinder, completely bled and ready to go to be bolted on to a bike. So that's something new that we're just going to be adding soon.
That's awesome. A little extra stopping power if you need it. We're going to bring in our test riders and hear what they had to say about putting some laps on this bike. Okay, one of our other test riders, Cody Moore, jumped in and got some laps on this thing. Now, you're more fitted to what this bike is set up for, 140 pounds, 45 pounds. How did it handle to you? Let's start there because you're a better test of the suspension.
Yeah, whenever the corners were a little bit slower or I'd come in and it was a bit more technical, the suspension worked better. But anytime that I came in super fast into something with a lot of chatter, maybe I could stiffen it up just a little bit. It was a little low in the stroke maybe, but I didn't want to push it too hard just because of how it felt. But if I could do that, it'd be good everywhere.
You don't want to crash somebody else's bike?
No, definitely not.
What about all the other parts of it? You know, I was asking you about tires. It's got some Bridgestone tires on it, which we haven't used in quite a while. How did those, you said those felt just kind of typical?
Yeah, I've never ran Bridgestone tires at all. Never even touched them on a track. So, I mean, it felt just like your normal Dunlop even. Like, you could compare it to that. Yeah, I didn't mind it at all.
Okay, we got Bruce Murata, one of our test drivers today. Bruce, thanks for joining us. What'd you think? I know this thing is not set up for you. Adrian's about 140 pounds. You're
about 185. Oh, yeah, I know. I know.
But so the suspension wasn't set up just right for you. But tell me about some of the other little touches on this. You know, one of the things we didn't mention is this steering dampener assembly that he has that bolts right on. It's pretty sweet the way it works. the link arms, a lot of that stuff is really cool. What stood out for you?
Yeah, so like you said, gained some weight here, so a little embarrassed about that. But you know, I could tell for a lighter rider, this bike, you know, you could just tell like how it's going through the strokes and all that suspension. It could be decent for a rider that is 140 pounds. But all in all, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm gonna be biased on this. It's a Honda, so these bikes are just they're always good, no matter what you do to them. But it was cool having that steering dampener up there and just you know, just able to kind of stiffen up that steering, especially for like the off-road riders out there. I think that would be a really cool feature to put on their bikes, because who likes having that big old thing in the bar pad up there, you know? So having it tucked in under there, I think that's pretty nice.
Really clean, and it works
Yeah.
with his clamp where you just bounce right to it, so it's real easy.
Yeah.
What about the motor, kind of power delivery? He's got a different gearing setup on this.
Yeah.
Not much done with the engine, but just slip on in that gearing.
Yeah, I mean, the way he had this gear, I felt like, especially coming out of the turns, it had a lot of power. So I mean, for those that just want to get out of the corners super, you know, quick, this is definitely the setting you want. I'm kind of like, I probably would go down maybe a couple of teeth in the rear if it were for me, because I'm kind of bigger now, more of that vet guy. So I kind of want to have a little bit more mellow of power coming out of my corners. But all in all, I mean, it's an awesome bike. You could definitely feel some power difference with having this FMF slip on here. That really helped out. And you know what? At the end of the day, you look good, you feel good. So having all these cool little, you know, like the little brake caps, just all the chain blocks, which the chain blocks are nice too, because when you come in and you need to chain or adjust that chain, this one you can see a lot better than the OEM one.
Well, you felt good, you look good. You ready for the National?
I'm getting there.
Well, big thank you to Adrian and the Ride Engineering crew for letting us have a ride on this bike and try out some of the things they've been working on. And I want to remind you guys, as always, all of the parts on this bike and Ride Engineering products you can find over at motorsport.com. Go check those guys out. They've got a bunch of giveaways going on this month that ends with giving away a brand new Yamaha 450. So, man, might as well have a shot at winning that thing. And prizes all month long, and always great deals, great shipping. Check the boys out at motorsport.com. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. If you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos, comment what you thought, and share it with your friends.